Make sacred space and be reminded of who you are. You are spirit and body, spirit and body, sacred space. Make sacred space and be reminded of who you are. You are spirit and body, spirit and body, sacred space. Good morning, my friends. It's Sunday Morning Tea and Tarot. I'm Valerie Friend. You can find me at valeriefriend.com and on Facebook and Instagram and on YouTube and on Patreon, where you can support the work. We'll put links in the comments. Good morning, Carla. Good morning, Alexandra and Ramona. Good morning, Mary Jane, Nithya. Oh, Nithya, it was so great seeing you last night.
Oh my gosh, it was, yeah.
And I need the recipe for those little squares with the sesame seeds on them. Oh my gosh, they were so good. Good morning, Melissa. Good morning, Ellen. And Carrie Ann is here. Carrie Ann, you've been doing some good feedback on the course. I'm so proud of you, and I loved seeing your introduction. That was insanely yummy. Good morning, Melody. Good morning, Diane. Good morning. We were just thinking about going to Massachusetts. Maybe we should come visit you. Good morning, Erica. And who else? Dora's here. Good morning. Good morning, Mandy. Good morning, Laura G. Are you new, Laura? I don't remember seeing your last name before. We have lots of Lauras, but no Laura G. J-E-A. How do I say it? How do I pronounce it? Good morning, Sherry West. And Julie's here, and Shanine, and Tamara Jean. Oh my goodness, all my friends. Hello. I'm sure more will be jumping on. What are you laughing at, baby? Good morning to you.
It's very unusual that anybody that pops on you don't consider a friend. So isn't that kind of cool?
It's true. It's true. And you know what? The only reason why I have so many friends is because I've made it a priority to make friends and to not expect everybody that I'm friends with to think exactly the way I think or to behave exactly the way I behave. You know, my friendship comes with loads of permission to others to be themselves. That doesn't, excuse me, that doesn't mean you're not going to piss me off from time to time, because friends do that too. But we love each other through it, right? Anyway, that's my orientation to friendship this morning. Diane says, come visit. Yay, honey. We've been just talking about a road trip, and I think that this seems very divinely guided. And I want to see your owl and your falcons. Oh my gosh, I'm liking this idea, honey. Mm-hmm. Hey, Sin. Oh, it's Laura Jean. I was just thinking. Okay. And Tammy is here. Sin. Good morning. Ann Danger. Hi, Ann Danger. We missed you last night. Sorry, I'm a little hoarse this morning, I have to say.
Honey.
Probably because I talked so much last night. We had ritual here at SpiritWings last night, and it was amazing. If you haven't seen the picture of our loom, check it out. Originally, I was going to burn the loom right away, but in the time when we were gathering, I heard that I need to keep it and allow people to weave in it, you know, clients, people who come to visit here. until Weekend of the Witch this next summer. That's 6 months cast out into the future, and then burn it in the sacred fire at the Weekend of the Witch. So Weekend of the Witch is August 14th, 15th, and 16th, I think. So you might want to mark your calendars. Here, let me flip forward to August, because I do believe, yes, 14, 15, and 16. See, I'm old, but my memory's still going. In fact, I can remember all the theme songs from every 70s and 60s
what was that?
sitcom that ever was made.
14, 15, 16?
August 14th, 15th, and 16th is Weekend of the Witch on the Sacred Hill in Berkshire, where we come together with a 9 o'clock and all of our amazing witches. Everybody, I hope you're coming back this year if you came last year. And for those of you who didn't get it, now's the time to start planning for it, okay? If we do a little quick math, because the cost this year is $244. So if we divide 244 by 6 months, you got to put aside $40 and about 67 cents a month between now and August, and you will have the funds to come to Weekend of the Witch. So if you put aside $50 a month between now and August, you'll have travel money. You'll be able to come. Make it happen if you're called to it. Anyway, enough of that. I want to tell you, we are in this full moon in Leo. So full moon blessings, full moon blessings. And Leo, is calling us to stoke the confidence and to, radiate with the sun. And we're going to see the sun in our reading today. Not going to tell you where yet. So this is the time to charge your decks, bless your bank account, anoint your tools, baptize yourself in the sweet, fresh waters of perfect love and perfect trust. Do a little thing. Believe in the perfection of the wheel of fate and fortune. Now, we saw this a couple of weeks ago show up in Tea and Tarot. It inspired the entire journey last night that we took in ritual. Oh, and for my moon meditations, folks, I am having trouble with SoundCloud, uploading my meditation to SoundCloud. So today I'm going to figure out, I don't know, I might have to just YouTube video it and do it like that, but I will get it out to you today. But it's okay to, do it today, tomorrow, this next week. I think it would be a beautiful working to listen to sometime this week, because we are having a lot asked of us on this loom, the wheel of fate and fortune. So we built the loom last night, but the loom continues to build. And if you just message me, I'm happy to weave some things into the loom for you. Private message me today. My appointment at 1 o'clock canceled, so I have a little extra time today. I can do some weaving. The loom is evolving, and I would love to add your energy to it. We also built a healing altar last night, and that was pretty amazing. Hi, Jamie Lee McCall. Good morning. Welcome to Tea and Tarot. Hi, Lisa and Lori Leonard.
David down here.
Sally's here. David's here. Soul Sisters is here. I never know which sister is present. And
Kelly.
yeah, Kelly Sardella.
Yep.
And Jackie Fulton, good morning. Mandy Smith, good morning.
Please don't be hurt if we miss your name.
Yeah, it's just because I don't see it in the feed. Say good morning again, and I'll see it this time.
Yeah.
I just want to send a shout out to David. I can't believe I remembered this, because I think it was right around last year. I could not find orange candles in my local shops to save my life. And people started sending me orange candles in the mail. No kidding. It was such a blessing. And this one was sent to me by David Nero. So David's here. I actually lit this candle originally from a Bridget's candle. And if you know anything about Bridget's candle, you know, the tenders of the sacred flame, any candle that you light from a Bridget's candle then becomes a Bridget's candle, and you keep the energy going and going and going. Hey, Natalie. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Martiel's on too. Well, I better get to praying here. Everybody's showing up. We're going to have to get to praying. So as we head into prayer this morning, I want you to ground yourself. You know, this came through as I was prepping for ritual yesterday, that we need to ground deeply into the mother. And we will see this in today's reading as well. So I have my little Bridget's Grove goddess. Molly Reamer is the keeper of the grove of Bridget. And she makes these wonderful goddesses. I own several of them. And this one I love because it is so root chakra. It's that blood red, blood and bone, salt of the earth sort of feeling. And I actually got out this new pink sea salt candle holder to charge with the full moon tonight, because I'm feeling a call to be a little salt of the earth right now. And I know somebody will think that this is terrible and weird, but what I like about these candles is that I can touch my tongue to it and I can taste the salt of the earth. And I will often do that as a practice before I put a candle in and light it. You know, so anybody who's like, oh my God, don't do that, blah, 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 I'm okay. You know, if I hear that it's not okay to do that in my soul space, I will listen, but it's okay and I will be okay. So as we head into this prayer this morning, I want us to ground ourselves deeply. I want you to, as you are able, put your feet down on the floor, or maybe you just want to do this in your mind's eye. And I want you to visualize those tap roots breaking through the frozen crust of the earth and diving deep, deep down into that deep belly of the mother. Remember that Imbolc is in the belly. And we are in this period between Imbolc and Ostara. So February 1st, 2nd to March 21st, or that spring equinox. I'm sorry if you are here from the Southern Hemisphere. You are in Lammas right now, and blessed be the fruit of your harvest. But we are here in Imbolc, headed towards that fertile season of Ostara, and we're going to send those roots down deeply, loop them around anything that anchors us firmly but flexibly. We don't want to be rigid. We don't want to be grasping on to things. We want to be anchored, yet still be able to float on the waters of life, okay? So take that in, take a few deep breaths into your heart space. I encourage you to stop scrolling, don't jump around, close down your other apps just for this time. This is your time. This is your message. As we open the channel of divine love and light to bring forth this message for Sunday morning tea and tarot, I ask that our guides, angels, light beings, and ancestors show up, surround us in love and protection, and bring forth messages that are clear, concise, and actionable, delivered for the good of all and the harm of none. And we ask this in perfect love and perfect trust, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is. You know, as I was going into prayer, I literally heard my guides say, stop talking and pray.
Zip it.
You know, I have this little thing that I say to myself sometimes. It's wait, W-A-I-T, and it means, why am I talking? Because I have to be reminded. I like to talk a lot, as all my teachers in high school and grade school will attest. I like to talk.
Ricky Jean's hopped on.
Hey, Ricky Jean. I love seeing who hops on in prayer. Lisa Sagan is here. Andy Ferrari, good morning. Susie Q. Carroll is here, and Kimberly Ann. And
MMB's on.
MMB has joined us. The other Melissa Watkins, was the one I said hello to before. And Sue DiNapoli, hi, we missed you last night. Let me know if you'd like something woven into the loom. So here we go. Here we go this morning. The swirl. So if you're new to Sunday Morning Tea and Tarot, we have 3 components to the group reading: the swirl, the path, and the illumination. So what's playing out there on the great game board? How might we be interacting with it is the path. And then the illumination is sort of how we knit it all together or weave our lived experience and receive some encouragement along the way. So we're going to start out very simply with the pole star, the star reversed. And this is our little warning, don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. The North Star is there. You are at the beginning of the labyrinth again. And boy, to lose hope this early in the growing season would be tragic, right? Now, lots of us are feeling a lot of reasons right now to not be so hopeful. You know, there's just a lot going on the national stage in the United States. There's stuff going on in our communities and in our families, and circumstances rear their heads. And on any given day, we might be like, wah, wah, wah. I can't have hope. That would be ridiculous. Well, I want us to be a little ridiculous this week, okay? And we'll see that as we move on the path. So first card in the swirl is just that energy of, yeah, sometimes it's hard to have hope and faith. Sometimes, you know, you don't see the North Star as clearly. Maybe there's cloud cover. Maybe there's weather going on. We just had a hell of a storm here this week. So I want you to take a moment, just as we start out, to locate what has been wearing on your hopeful self. I want you to take a little moment. Just, you know, don't overthink it. Just see what springs up to you first thing. What has been, you know, wearing on your hopeful nature. And maybe you're a person who struggles with having a hopeful nature too. I kind of have that tendency. Virgo sun, you know, and we're headed into the moon in Virgo, then Libra, and then Scorpio. We're going to end the week in Scorpio. And Scorpio, one of the things about Scorpio moon is that it's reflecting back the truth about the truth. And I think that's kind of cool. So at the end of the week, you're going to figure some stuff out that maybe has been a little confusing, maybe has been draining your little bowl of hope a little bit. So just locate yourself.
Reflecting back the truth about
the truth. Isn't that interesting? Scorpios are so mysterious, you know, so don't rack your brains about it. Some of us more analytical types were like, what is the truth about the truth? I mean, if you watch Star Trek The Next Generation, sometimes I think about it and I see Data's eyes going back and forth, like scanning the computer programs. Don't try to figure it out. Just kind of let it sit with you, marinate a little bit in it. So what is following this star in reverse is the King of Bows. So it's time to get busy. You know, the King of Wands, the King of Fire, is an active energy. Instead of looking for those who are toxic, those who are draining our hope, or those that we use as evidence and we point fingers at them and say, see, I would be hopeful AF if it wasn't for that asshole that is draining my hope. This King of Bows, you know, and I love the snakes weaving in and out of each other, you know, creating their own tapestry. That instead of looking for those who are toxic in their words and their deeds, we need to actively seek those who are moving along the ley lines of love. Okay? Perfect love and perfect trust. You know, some feel Reiki, that universal life force energy, as pure love. That's the kind of love I'm talking about. And you know what? They're there. We are some of them. Who knows why other people do what they're doing? You know, who knows why they are thinking and acting in this way? In fact, restored hope or faith requires us to not be concerned with any of that. Zero fucks given about people who are acting in any reversed aspect of the King of Wands. And we've seen a lot of that this week. We're not paying attention to that. We are paying attention to the people who are doing things that resonate with us. They bring the passion and the heat and the creativity and the excitement and the mating dance, which is what the adders are engaged in here. You know, the people who are doing their dance, and we find it very attractive. We are paying attention to that energy. Faith requires putting down the details of fate and fortune and picking up the guidance of our own North Star. All right? The truth is, we can go willingly into that great loom and weave ourselves authentically between the threads of what is happening, or we can get dragged through it, okay? With those rocks ripping us up, with the threads tangled around our necks, choking us, limiting us. And the dangers, the perceived dangers owning us, you know, instead of rising up and being like, here I come to save the day for yourself. Don't try to save anybody else. Just save yourself. Instead of encouraging ourselves, we can get tangled up and feel, you know, possessed by the stories that we make up around what's going on in Earth life that doesn't seem to be in alignment. Instead, this week, in the swirl, people, places, and things are being put in your path for your noticing. So who do you see who's confident and compassionate, who's generous and forthright, who is on the side of love? Who do you see, and how can you pay more attention to that? We are being asked, the third card in the swirl this morning, to trust and step out on faith, all right? To take that big step. It's called the Wanderer in Ryan and Matthew's Wildwood Tarot. That's what I'm using this morning. It's situated at the center of the wheel, and it's so interesting because in our journey last night, we started standing in the center of the great wheel. So we're being asked to really step out into the arms of the sacred and participate in this radical allowing, okay? We can say things like, point me, guide me, show me, direct me, order my footsteps, catch me, hold me. You know, just really offering it all out there to this full moon. The Fool is the radical starting point for this season, and she's calling us to risk it all in the name of love. All right? Amazing message. Amazing message. Trust. Step out on faith. We often say that our faith is being tested. And when we're in our unhopeful selves, we're like, oh, they're testing me. I don't enjoy this. But I think we're being asked to step out on faith this week like never before. The seeds of change require it. Now, for any of you who are not members of our Facebook group, Tarot for Real Life, you might not know that we've started a new challenge that will take us to Ostara, or spring equinox. Or if you're in the southern hemisphere, you know, you might be looking at a little tarot challenge to Mabon. So we're being asked to sort of cultivate the seeds of change. And here's our first energetic moment. Where is your hope lacking? What are you going to pay attention to so that you notice who's generating heat in a way that feels right and good? And then you got to trust it and step out on it. All right? So let's head into the path, because I'm not going to lie. The path looks looks pretty rocky this week. No, you know that I don't sugarcoat it. So we're starting out the path with the Queen of Bows in reverse. Now here we had look for the King of Bows upright. So who is the leader? King of Bows is very leaderly. Who is inspiring you? Bows is wands. Who is inspiring? Who is adding heat to your magic, your alchemy? And then in the path, we've got the Queen of Bows reverse. So let's just talk about that. First of all, this is the first step on the path. So I want to take you to that moon in Virgo energy. And what do we know about the corrupted or the reversed, or, you know, even the protection vibe of a reversed card? Is that we have to look at the challenges of the suit, of the card, and of the astrology. So moon is in Virgo the first part of this week, and we know that Virgo in a negative or shadow self can be very critical. It can be very self-critical, and it can be very critical of others. So when I looked up the Queen of Wands in Tarot Plain and Simple, give a shout out to a book by Anthony Lewis. It may look different than this if you do an Amazon search for it, because mine is very old. It might have a new cover by now. So what I read was the shadow side of the feminine. Okay, the shadow side of the yin energy. So let's talk a little bit about that. The Queen of Fire is reversed. She can be rigid and inflexible and convinced that the story that she has made up is absolutely true. It's the only story. Her story is right. And when I say her, it's like the royal her, the royal yin energy. So their story is absolutely true. The Queen of Fire reversed makes huge, greedy assumptions and insists that the entire world, or the queendom, bend to her narrow view. Okay? This is definitely the energy of rather be right than happy. Okay? Yeah. Yes, absolutely. This is the woman, or the yin energy, that sets little fires to incite others. And she's usually doing it on the down low. You know, this is, she's the character in the epic tale. So think of your favorite epic story. who fuels the rumors and concocts conspiracy theories to manipulate and coerce others into doing her bidding. Okay, this character, the Queen of Wands reversed, it never looks like she's the root of the problem. She gets other people to do her dirty work, is what I'm saying. Queen of Wands reverse uses love and sex to control and shape the story that she has created out of fear. This is toxic love and sex. This is not perfect love and trust. This is toxic love and inciting the heat of others to do ill. Now, that sounds very, big, like, I don't know, Game of Thrones-y, okay? Name your character, I'm sure you can find one. But how does this unfold on the earthly plane of our humble lived experiences? To me, who I'm gonna look back to myself in this family where I was taught to triangulate quite effectively with my mother and especially my sisters. And so this is where I would be feeling some sort of way. And instead of dealing with myself, I would call up my mother or my sister, one of my sisters, and start some shit. I'd start talking smack about people behind their back. And then whoever I'm talking to gets mad about it and starts shit over there. And so we had this pattern for a long time. Long story short, it took a lot of therapy for me to quit participating in this. And my mother and sisters are wonderful people. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm a wonderful person, but it's very intoxicating sometimes to have this power, especially if you haven't done some of your own healing work. So she uses love and sex, toxic love and sex, to shape the story that she has created out of fear. Fear of irrelevance is huge for us in our lived experiences right now. Fear of disempowerment, like somebody's going to be running the show and I'm going to get hurt. Fear of not getting your own way. Like maybe you have woven a loom of your own imagination. You forgot that like there's the fortune and fate aspect here. And you thought that it was all you're doing. And now you don't like the way it's turning out. You're not getting your way. Things are not manifesting according to your personality or your small self. And you get scared. The Queen of Wands reversed is the spoiled princess, all grown up. She's demanding, she's self-involved, she's unyielding. She is so stubborn and set in her ways that she will not try something new out of spite. She's the gossiping girl who grew into a busybody and can't stop tearing other people down. And and she's standing on their dead bodies like, I am victorious, but she's not. She's got blood on her hands. Even if she didn't do the deed herself, the blood is on her hands. So we as women, we do this to each other. I mean, men too, of course, men too. And in fact, as women have moved more into the realms that were relegated to men for a long time, many of us have adopted the toxic rather than brought this balanced yin energy to meet the sacred masculine. I mean, we've literally set fire to our own. This is the witch wound, my friends. This is about being so frightened that we gave up our sisters to be burned. All right? I told you the path is rocky. I told you. But that's the truth of it. And we don't have to continue to berate ourselves, but we do have to participate in the healing. The Queen is followed by the Ace of Arrows reverse. So Ryan and Matthews named this the Breath of Life. This is the Ace of Swords. And what we see is this kind of interaction with the Great Wheel sucks the life out of us. All right. It's like the Dementors in Harry Potter, where they suck your soul out and any happiness and joy that you have is removed. And all you have are bleak, toxic vibrations active while you sit in Azkaban prison. Okay. I know it's not good. It's not good. So the Ace of Swords reverse suggests that we may be tempted to apply more force than in a situation than is necessary. You know, we don't have to engage with it. In fact, disengage with it is what we're hearing from the swirl. We might be willing to burn bridges this week. We may be dealing with this dichotomy of kill or be killed. Brene Brown calls it victim or Viking. You know, either you're a winner or you're a loser. Either you play by the rules of patriarchy, corporatocracy, white supremacy, you know, all the isms that are active right now. Either you play by those rules or you're a loser and you're just not going to get anything. So you're going to have to participate. Not true. Not true. But we have to resist the urge to shred each other and instead build loving stamina. Instead of harshly declaring this week, I'm done with that, you know, unfriend Valerie friend. What I want you to do is like maybe snooze it for a month. You know, on Facebook where you can snooze somebody for 30 days, like maybe there are people you need to snooze for 30 days. You don't need to burn the bridge, but maybe just need to disengage for a little while you're turning your compass to upright and focusing on your North Star. Anybody who causes you to feel hopeless or lose your faith right now, they're on snooze in whatever ways, you know, so that means when the phone rings and it's that person who sucks the life out of you, that you let it go to voicemail, you know, and not with, I'm ignoring them. I can't even believe they're calling me. No, just bless it and release it. Send them a prayer. Maybe you send them a text and say, I am so sorry that I didn't pick up your call. I'm just really focusing on this other thing right now. I'll get back in touch with you. You know, be honest. Being clear is kind. Telling somebody I need a break from you is actually kind instead of maybe just ignoring them. All right. Because I don't know about you, but I can ignore with a vengeance. Like every time that phone rings, I'll just be like, nope, I'm not talking to you. You are toxic to me. And I am busy with these other things, feeling superior to you being one of them. So instead of that, I want you to be careful not to run in the direction of the other extreme. So complacency, you know, as Virgo, as the moon leaves Virgo and moves into Libra, all of us who have those people-pleasing kind of tendencies on the outside, you know, we just like, I'm just going to make lemonade. I'm not snoozing anybody. I'm not abstaining from the things that incite me and cause me to lose hope. Instead, I am going to smile and people please you. And inside, I'm going to be resentful and hateful and say mean words about you in my heart. And that's just as bad. It really is. It's equally toxic. So don't go too far in the other direction. We're going to try to ground in that nice little balance spot. The character, I lost place here for a moment. So I want to go back to the Queen of Wands because we're going to, you know, she is the big player this week. And she's the one who will kiss you passionately while she plunges that dagger right into your back. And we do this to ourselves. Don't just look at those other people who are doing you dirty. People, places, and things that are making your life miserable and causing you to lose hope. What ways are you waging warfare against your remembered self and murdering your own faith? Okay, I told you, we're being brought to task this week. Where are you part of the problem for your own self? Whenever you point that finger, 3 are pointing back at you. Okay, so you got to look at yourself. And then the final card in the path is the wheel reverse. So the great loom that we wove together in ritual last night, that perfect wheel of fate and fortune that is always turning. It's always turning. You could go through your day and say, this is a wheel upright moment. This is a wheel reverse moment. This is a wheel upright moment. You know, we can label and critique and create value around our assessments of good and bad, right and wrong, instead of just knowing that the wheel turns. It turns for all of us. So when we perceive that the loom has been turned on its head, we react in ways inauthentic to our remembered selves as we block the messages, the blessings, the miracles of faith. All right? It's like, here, I had faith for 5.5 minutes and nothing changed and the wheel still looks like shit. And so it's all wrong. And, you know, I don't know. I'm going to power shop on Amazon and not take care of myself and eat cookies until I burst. You know, all those kind of things. Instead, this week we are warned that seeing things with the lens of ill-fated circumstances plus a vicious story that we've concocted ourselves around earthly valuations of what's going on, we're going to have a tough go of it if we participate in this. It's going to be harder than it needs to be. So what are we going to do about it? We are being asked to apply unreasonable faith, okay? Like your reasoning mind is gonna say, I don't think you should step out on that. No one's gonna catch you. It's all crap. You know, let's just go watch CNN for a few minutes and get ourselves all worked up into a lather and then, you know, retreat right back into our old bullshit. Use your powers to right the loom, okay? See it all as perfect. Rise to the challenge of perfect love and perfect trust. Turn willingly in the direction of your North Star and behave optimistically, all right? I'm telling you, a friend sent me an article that I'm going to repost in Tarot for Real Life by Clarissa Pinkola Estes. I love her. I love her. I love her. If you have Audible, she has lots of little talks that you can participate in. I really like the one on the crone. But she talks about not losing hope. It was like I wrote this whole message this morning. The cards came down, the message came, and then a friend sent me this little thing that just said, yeah, that's what we got to do. So turn willingly in the direction of your North Star. Behave optimistically. What if it's all working out exactly the way it's supposed to? What if you believe that? What if your highest self is just inside going, oh, I love the way the game board has shifted. This is going to be amazing. I am going to get to be a leader. And I am going to get to step out on my faith and really exercise my spiritual muscles. And then the Queen of Wands comes in and says, oh, no, you're not. Oh, no, you're not. Everybody's trying to fool you and take from you and stab you. So you better be preemptive and kill or be killed. Not true. Not true. We're going to spend some time riding the wheel this week. The illumination. And this is the great encouragement here. And it feels so right to me after last night, I don't know if you saw pictures of my Bridget's altar, but there were so many stones on that altar. We were grounding like mofos last night. So the first card in the illumination is the Ace of Stones, the foundation of life. So what's the counterbalance to the Ace of Swords reversed is this grounding down into the deep belly of the mother. We are being asked to go back to the solid foundation of the mother herself. So I want you to think about simplifying things as much as possible, creating what you want to see on the micro level. All right, so don't be worried about all that. That's none of your business out here. We're going to ground down into this sacred earth, and we are going to do the doing of manifesting hope in our own goddamn lives. We're going to stay in our own lanes. We're going to do our own work. All right? Create what you want to see on a micro level. Start with yourself and watch the magic ripple out. The Ace of Pentacles is that manifestation card. It predicts windfalls and like money coming to you from unexpected places, time coming to you from unexpected places, connections, all those wonderful success things. Honey, did you have your hand up?
No, I'm just remembering. Isn't that the one where the hand is coming from the sky?
All the aces have the hands coming out of the clouds of confusion, holding the gifts of the suit. And in this case, it's the pentacles, or the worldly manifestation of that micro level hope you've been generating. All right? So ground deep down into the belly of the earth and draw up the fortitude that is being offered to you by the Earth Mother, Gaia, the sacred source, that grounded, rooted self that I have anchored to this visual image of this goddess. And the earth is met with the warmth of the sun. Isn't that good? Isn't that good? Now, this card showed up in reverse for things, but I was told that we're seeing the beginning rays, and we need to breathe into the fullness of the upright form. So that's a little confusing. So let me talk to you a little bit about slow fulfillment, okay? So I want you to think about the glimmer of the sun rising in the morning, okay? Do you have any doubts that the sun will continue to rise, that those first early rays will actually turn into the sun rising? And the sun just came out from behind a cloud here. It's just so cool right now. Do you have any doubt that the sun will continue to rise? Dawn happens, and we know it's going to head towards that high sun at noon. Do you doubt that the same sun will set tonight and rise again tomorrow morning? Do you? Do you have any doubts about that? Even on the days where there is so much cloud cover that it seems like, we can't see the sun, it's light out, but it's not very bright. Even when there's cloud cover, even when wildfires have created so much smoke that it obscures the light of the sun, do you ever doubt that the sun is still there? That it will still rise, that it will still set, that it will do it again tomorrow, and again the next day, and the next, and the next? This is the kind of faith we're being asked to have this week, that no matter what the weather is, no matter what the, catastrophic conditions are that are swirling around in life, the sun will rise tomorrow. The sun will set again, and it will rise again. The sun encourages us to put a little heat behind our faith this week. Join forces with King of Bows people, all right? Find the honorable people who make you feel warm and full and spend time with them in whatever way you need to. And technology enables us to do this, okay? Find people. And if you are a person who says, I have no friends, well, your job is to make friends, to hope and know and be guided and pointed and directed to those people who you're supposed to connect to, and not expect them to be perfect, and not expect them to look and act and feel and hope and experience exactly the way you do. You know, we need to join together and give each other permission to be who we are. All right? So you can't control it, even though that Queen of Bows wants to so bad. I am only hanging out with people who think the same way I do. And I'm going to talk smack about you if you think differently than me. I'm going to participate in the tearing down. And I am going to snuff out my own life's breath in the doing of it, because I don't like how the wheel has turned at this moment. So it's a big calling this week, but it's a hopeful calling. You know, the sun is blessing the sovereign of fire. Put your heat where it matters. Be creative together. Be generous and encouraging where you can, authentically, to one another. Lead with building up the systems that light you up, rather than deceitfully manipulating corrupt people, places, and things. All right? Let hope dominate this week. What would it mean to relentlessly practice hope this week? And I want you to think about practice, because it's important. Not think about hope. Not, play around with the idea of hope. But what would it mean to relentlessly practice hope this week? What would it mean, honey?
We have a request that would motivate a lot of people.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, people want you to sing some of the songs from Annie. The sun will come out tomorrow.
The sun will come out tomorrow. I don't have a good key.
That's bottom dollar on tomorrow.
There'll be sun. Of course there will. So it's going to require stepping off the proverbial cliff, okay? But I want you to think about this. Not foolhardily. We hear about that all the time. Oh, she's so foolhardy. I want you to be faith-heartedly this week, okay? Not foolhardily, faith-heartedly. How are you going to practice relentless hope faith-heartedly? Put that in your Seeds of Change pipe and light it up, girls and boys. Sorry, mostly girls come here. Anyway, and I've been using a lot of gendered language this morning. I'm sorry. I know that is difficult for some people to translate, and I try to do better, but these old archetypes just really kind of gender themselves in my brain. So give me a little space, because I haven't gotten gender neutral with my language yet, but I do work on it quite a lot. So that's what I've got for you today. Blessed be the message. Blessed be all of our embarkings on the Seeds of Change. And pull out your favorite Fool card, maybe put it on your altar with some salt that you can taste from time to time. Get your favorite stones out and build a cairn. this is one of the things that I did this morning. I just take some of my favorite stones and crystals. I chose all raw ones that came from wherever, just like this. And you want to stack them up, balance them, one on top of another. Make a prayer while you do it. You know, put your head and your heart together, ground deeply into the mother, and then build and balance upon this root chakra, knowing that everything is right and perfect, and that you will in fact prevail, and the sun will come out and warm the seeds you have planted, which will then sprout and grow and be nurtured. Okay, that's what I've got for us today. We're going to pull some cards. We do individual card pulls, so if you've made a comment, you're already in the lineup. Mm-hmm. I want to show you the decks I have. I have a traditional, the Borderless Rider-Waite Smith deck. I like this deck quite a lot. And it was freshly charged under the full moon last night, so it might be a little hot and ready to go. I also have Chris Ann's Light Seers Tarot deck. Everybody at Ritual last night who checked this deck out loved it. So I've got that one. And I pulled out a couple of non-tarot decks that we haven't seen in a while. So I've got Carolyn Meese's Archetype deck. If you are unfamiliar with Carolyn Meese, you can find lots of her stuff on YouTube, lots of her talks. She is a Jungian psychologist, PhD person, and she works on the dominant archetypes in humanity. And her cards look like this on the back. And everyone has a light attribute and a shadow attribute. So it's kind of a useful tool. And I like to play around with these cards in my personal work. Also, because we are planting the seeds of change, I pulled out the Druid Plant Oracle. This is by Philip and Stephanie Carr-Gomm. They did the Druid Craft Tarot that I use from time to time. Will Worthington is the illustrator of this deck. You know I love him. So I pulled this out. I don't know this deck very well. Whenever I've used it, I've really enjoyed it. So I will be on book, you know, if something is not familiar to me. So that's what we've got for decks today. I'm going to have a little hot flash. I guess that King of Bows is heating me up already. And we're just going to plow through some cards.
Okay, so let's pull one for David, because before you even mentioned him this morning, I was thinking it's been, I can't remember how long since David's had a card.
Absolutely.
And he's been a quiet supporter, steadfast, and come up a few times in conversation today. And by the way, he said, don't worry about the gender thing. He's half girl. Yeah.
I know, but David, some people really, it's hurtful to them. And I like to be respectful of that. So David, what I've got for you this morning, and we're going to go over today because I rambled on too long. So we're going to go over in time if you stay for card pulls. Otherwise, you know, you can just take the message and let it sink in. So what I've got for you, David, is this Eight of Cups, showing up upright. So there are some things that you really do need to turn your emotional attention away from. There's some sad departures happening, and there's some challenging terrain ahead. You know, that would go very well with the path we're on this week. So there's going to be those mountains to climb, but you're being really encouraged to do it, even though it seems scary, because what you're releasing is that feeling like you're constantly being taken from in a way that doesn't feel good to you. This can be the energy of being tricked or deceived, or, you know, sold a bill of goods, or somebody got something that should have been yours. Any sort of that is active this week, you're just being asked to take a pass on and just like bless it and release it. You know, rejection is divine protection. The wheel is perfect. Work with the energy as it comes and try not to get caught up in any sort of duplicitous or, you know, Queen of Wands reverse behaviors. And what it's going to take is a disengagement on an emotional level from people who incite your wounds. All right. So that's what I've got for you, sweetheart. Thank you for the orange candle. Thank you. Who else?
How about a card for Shoneen?
Sure.
From the Jungian deck.
From the Jungian deck.
Jungian deck. This week's message resonated for her. She needs to know her place.
Okay, Shoneen, we have that card that I just pulled out, for example, obviously was your card because I shuffled and here it came. So the Judge, the light aspects of this, the attributes, are balancing justice and compassion, managing fair distribution of power. Now it came out upright, so I'm really feeling the light attributes. This is that balancing. And I would especially draw your attention to the days when the moon is in Libra, because that gives us a chance to regroup and rebalance. So think about what's going on. Fair distribution of power. Are you taking on too much? Are you giving away power in places that you should be owning it and using it for good? Are you participating in King of Wands upright? Or, and I want to say, are you resisting the Queen of Bows reversed? That would be my guidance to you. The Judge, you know, when you think about judgment, we have a very skewed relationship with that because it's become more about how to play a corrupted game rather than how to support and distribute fairness. All right. So make sure this week, as you approach every situation, take a moment to breathe, ground, and center, and then make that balanced judgment. Use compassion to guide yourself. Manage the distribution of power. Accept responsibility where it's yours, and don't take on other people's stuff. Okay? That's what I've got for you, babe. I hope it helps.
Could we send some Reiki out to Ellen Buckles Quinlan?
We can. We can do that right
Her
now.
back and knees aren't working.
We're going to send it out now to Ellen's back and knees. But hold Ellen in your prayer practice this week. And Ellen, I'm going to add you to my healing altar. I want to pull a card for Sue DiNapoli.
I was just thinking
this double vision thing is
Yeah.
raising a lot of questions, and answers are inconclusive at this point. Trying not to get ahead of diagnosis. Absolutely. I think that that's a good plan. You know, don't get ahead of yourself. But let's see if we can, and apparently we can. They're jumping right out for you, Sue. So what I have first is that sun in reverse that we saw in the illumination. So answers are coming. They're slower than you would like. You know, I am definitely getting something that could be a little environmentally related. The sun, this maybe related to vitamin D. I don't know. I'm hearing a little bit of that. And the card that came out with it is this Nine of Wands. So the Nine of Wands reminds you to like guard and protect yourself, you know, light your flame, put up your little staves as a line that can't be crossed, and really participating in creating a safe zone for your self-care and your self-love. Instead of thinking about, why is my body doing this annoying thing that we can't figure out yet? Nurturing that hope that, you know, we will figure this out. And there will be healing, and there will be new illumination. So don't get ahead of yourself. But I'm create a nice little healing zone for yourself. And if you're having a hard time getting out, because a lot of times, vision stuff, I know you weren't driving when we talked about ritual, you need to invite people in. Invite the people into your blanket fort who will encourage you and support you and help you take really good care of yourself, okay? All right, who else?
There was a question, what was the third card in the illumination?
There was no third card in the illumination.
Okay, all right.
There was only 2 cards.
Okay.
Trick question. Well, I'm scrolling through. We're going to stay here for another, 3 or 4 messages.
Sharon Saff Phelps popped up. That's not a
Sharon Saff Phelps. Gotcha.
Scrolling back.
The me stack is amazing and just doesn't get the love it should. Well, here we're going to deliver you a little love from the me stack, okay? So, Sharon, really tune in. Ooh. So, the damsel is showing up in her light attribute, okay? Now, I have a damsel, and usually she's this one, honestly. But, so I see this card and I go, Gulp, like, is this message for me too? So it says, understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself. Now, when we think about the message today, we saw a couple, showing up, the yin and the yang of it. And we saw the King of Wands upright, and we saw the Queen of Wands reverse. And so I believe that this is an underline for you, Sharon. Hanging out with those who nurture a healthy romance. And that doesn't have to be romance in the, Valentine's Day sorts. This could be a romance with yourself as well. This could be a romance with a passion project. But if you are looking for somebody to come and save you this week, I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that what you're going to really do is lean into the faith-heartedness of yourself. Relying on yourself and rising to your own rescue. Rescue your own self this week is what I've got for you, Sharon. Who else, babe?
And Sharon was new. She's new.
Oh, Sharon, you're new. Welcome. Think about joining our group, Tarot for Real Life. I put a call to action button so you can get to it easily, but answer the questions because I just kind of don't approve people who don't answer the questions. And the third one, the one about kindness, that's the most important one to me.
Terry Enders is on.
Terry Enders is on. I want to pull a card for Terry, and I'm going to go to this Druid Plant Oracle. If for anybody who doesn't know, in the years of having the B&B, we have had a lot of house cleaners come through our doors. And some of them we've been very dissatisfied with.
Isn't she more like a domestic goddess?
Terry is a domestic goddess. Like, she makes my house look and smell so good. Mm-hmm. And she doesn't judge me when things are too messy.
I think she's better than therapy.
Terry is very good therapy for all of us. Yeah. So, Terry, what I've got for you is mugwort. Yeah. Okay? We're going to read about it. We're going to read about it from the book. And this book is ordered very well in its index, and I can find things super easily, which makes the little Virgo sun in me smile. Okay, mugwort. Prophecy, clairvoyance, and protection. So trust in your gut, girl, and I know you have a good one. Using an oracle such as this can help you see beyond the everyday. But in addition to reading the words on this page, you need to engage your intuitive abilities. so that you can sense the card's meaning in a way that is valuable in the context of your own life. Choosing this card may suggest that conditions are propitious for the development of your intuitive powers. So trusting your gut, going with your intuition needs a little extra attention. Where have you been second guessing yourself, Terry? You are a goddess of all the kinds. Rather than developing any psychic power for its own sake, the Druid seeks to develop the ability to see and understand things clearly. So I'm getting for you, sweetheart, like whatever comes your way, run it through your system. Things are not how they seem to others. You know what you know, you feel what you feel. Trust it, step out on it, and maybe get yourself a little mugwort oil to remind you. Put it in your diffuser and bring all the elements into play. Do a thing. Do a thing. Trust your intuition and do a thing is what I've got.
I get at least 2 more.
Okay, there's 2 more.
So Tammy, Stamba Emas.
Tammy Stamba Emas
asked if you could pull a card from the Light Seers deck. And there's been a lot of love expressed for this deck.
Light Seers Tarot gets all the love and Tammy gets the card. And guys, if you resonate with this card, it's for you too. You know, Tammy just asked for you. And what I've got for you is the 4 of Wands, the celebration card. And look at this joyous, amazing fun. And doesn't this just put a punctuation mark on seeking out those people who make you feel good, who you want to lift your tambourine and dance with? You know, whatever dancing looks like. You know, for my mom, it was playing pitch. I mean, she liked to dance too, but she liked to play cards a lot. It might be calling people together and having a little potluck dinner and some conversation, a nice glass of wine and some friendship. It might be celebrating a birthday or an engagement or a milestone of some sort. Do it. Don't let those moments of inspiration when you feel like calling in your sacred people and doing a little sacred dance with them. Don't let those pass you by. Make the time. Make the space. Put a little extra effort into it and make it super special. It doesn't take a lot to make something very special and celebratory. You know, I love this for you, Tammy, and I want to hear what you do with this energy because we have a rough path this week. And so what would help that more than getting together with people that make you laugh and smile and sing and dance and celebrate? All right, who's the other one, babe?
I don't know. Sorry, I was just looking back. 1 second.
You said you had 2.
I do. Carla Rojas, and I might have one more after this one.
Carla Rojas.
Yeah, she says she's gonna play nice to some crazy peeps this morning. Coming up this week. Any guidance on how to tap dance nicely this week with some crazy peeps?
We're going to stay with this Lightworkers Tarot. How to tap dance nicely with some crazy peeps. Well, first I've got the full reversed. So definitely you're going to need to cultivate your faith. You know, among those crazy peeps, let's be on the lookout for the ones who are exhibiting integrity and alignment and, you know, leadership and being wonderful. You know, we can talk ourselves out of playing nice by only seeing the crazy peeps. A lot of times in our culture, the crazy peeps get all the attention. All right. And I'm hearing that you need to fall into the arms of the leaders, the passion makers, the love seekers, the people who tend the flame in a responsible and compassionate and caring way. So you give 0 fucks to the crazy peeps and look for the good ones. Look for the leaders. Look for the quiet leaders that you've been overlooking, because those crazy peeps are so damn loud. All right? You got to turn their volume down and turn the cool peeps volume up. All right? That's what I have for you, Carla.
Okay, and I'm looking back in the feed. Carrie Ann asked for a card. I'm looking to see if her question's back up in here, but I think I recall that she said she really likes the Lightseers deck, and it might have been her that said it's getting delivered today.
Oh, Carrie Ann, are you getting the Lightseers Tarot today?
Yes. Sorry if I'm confusing that with anybody else. So apparently the deck Valerie used, the Jungian deck.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not sure, Carrie Ann, what deck.
Carrie Ann, I'm pulling a card for you, and I am really feeling, I just poked a stack of stones. I am really feeling this Druid plant oracle for you. I don't know why. If you need me to pull a Lightseers Tarot card for you, please let me know immediately. But I am feeling these plant allies. We are planting the seeds of change. And what I have for you is borage. Let me go. This is when it's super helpful to have Anaya sitting right next to me. And she would go, borage, blah. But you get me and a book. So page 18, borage, courage, forgetfulness, and gladness. Okay, that forgetfulness seems interesting to me. So it showed up upright, and the upright meaning, it says, borage has been associated with courage since ancient days. If you have chosen this card, it may be that this is the quality you need to draw upon at this time. True courage requires a strong and generous heart. That would be perfect with the King of Bows energy. This involves looking beyond your own needs to perceive the greater good for those around you. This may mean that you need to be courageous in the standing up for someone who is weaker than you or who needs your protection. And it may mean sticking your head up above the periphery to make a stand for what you believe is right. Okay, so sticking up for the underdog may be on the plate for you this week. To be courageous and daring, you must also be able to forget. If you hold every eventuality in mind, so making stories up about things, you will never act. And being courageous often requires a magnanimity that forgets personal slights or errors of judgment. Going beyond judgment and recrimination, true courage is a brave open-heartedness that restores our confidence in human nature, bringing with it joy and happiness. All right? So be brave. Be brave, my friend. It will work out. It will be perfect as it is perfect, because the wheel will always, always turn. The loom is constantly reinventing itself, and our job is to pick up the shuttle and to purposefully and hopefully weave our faith among the strands of fate and fortune. That's what I've got for you today. Go check me out at valeriefriend.com or spiritwings.live. We will put a link in the comments. I have a new course out on choosing a tarot deck for your own personal working. There's a freebie course there that you can try out first to see if you like it. I'm doing Celtic cross spreads for $66 right now in any way that you want. So email, Zoom meeting, phone call, in person, all's happening at that price point. And next Saturday, February 15th, I am doing a Zoom meeting class on the Celtic cross spread. So if you have been wanting to learn about this spread, this might be the class for you. It's a sliding scale, $33 to $44, wherever you feel comfortable. And as always, if you like Tea and Tarot, if you like the content I generate on all the platforms, support the work on Patreon. It really helps me bring the message every week. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I'm with you in this struggle this week. So don't forget to reach out and connect. Join Tarot for Real Life. Maybe this is the week you want to join Moon Meditation Sacred Circle. Maybe this is just the week that you want to private message me and say, hey, I liked what you said on Tea and Tarot, and this is how it's rolling out in my life, because I love to connect and hear from you. Mwah! I'll see you soon.
Nicely done.